in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
What's up, chat? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend. If you didn't, let's have a great week here on the desk, shall we? We got another week of No News Monday. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but say what's up in the chat if you're feeling good, if you're feeling bad. Hopefully, you had a great weekend, like I said. But we got a full week of streams ahead of us, so let's have a great week. If you need me all week long, always feel free to reach out. But let's take a look at what we got cooking here pre-market. I got no trades on as we just sit here on a Monday morning, not going to rush in, not going to jump in and be red before the open comes in. So we really got to pick our spots if we're going to trade here pre-market with about 45 minutes or so until the open. There was a nice hold there of the overnight VWAP. Definitely can't deny that. If you look at the 15-minute, I'm liking longs today. But when do I ever come on and not say that? So that doesn't really say too much, I guess. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm always looking for longs if we can. Boop, boop, boop. James, what's up? Who we got today? You and Randy? Yeah, Randy should be on. I think Randy's on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So Randy will be on today. Austin will be on today. We have a full week of streams, like I said. So if you go over here to AceFX TV, and for anyone that's new or not joining in on there, you can get your first month for absolutely free. The link is always down below or in my socials. You could use code FIRST, spell it out, and you'll get access to all the live streams for the first 30 days. You get the 2 courses. Austin just did an update to his. So there's new chapters within here. So even if you have seen it, go check out the new ones. And I'm cooking up an update as well. We're not going to update the chapters. We're just going to add to it because what's in there is good. But let's just add some more. We don't need to change anything. We're just going to add. And then Zach, who's absolutely crushing it, Zarb, he's creating his own course from scratch. So that one's going to be out soon, and that one's the most exciting one. I mean, can we just take a look at him real quick? He's crushing. It's really tough to even keep track of how good he's doing. Let's see. Took another 7,000 payout with Tradeify on September 3rd. What was that, 5 days ago? Okay. Let's go even further. Not too far back. Because there was 30 grand, 40 grand in August. Here we go. 40K payouts. 4 payout cycles stacked and 40K P&L. Next step, moving to live. So he'll also be live. Not today, unfortunately. He's live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Monday, Fridays, we like to keep it short. We don't need to keep us there all day long, especially today, right? We have no news Monday. We know what that price action can look like sometimes, and sometimes it's ugly. So if we can make our money early, get off stream by 10:30, great day. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll stick around for a while. So he'll be on tomorrow. But if you look at the overnight to start the week, almost just separated, just look at what's happening since today. Higher highs and higher lows. Buyers have been in control overnight. Keep on defending this overnight VWAP. There was a nice bounce here. Could be long now, around that 6,500 level. Nice round level as well. So, fortunately, didn't grab that. But everyone see that level? Everyone watch this VWAP? If you've seen Futures 101 or 2.0, this is one of my favorite VWAPs. I probably have countless videos on them on YouTube. If I can get my entry anywhere around this price, it's because price normally wants to move back into trend from here. So if I feel I have a good read on trend that day, I'd love this price, right? Obviously, if trend shifted to bearish, that price is going to lose no matter where you buy it because you shouldn't be buying it. But if trend holds, great price to buy it, right? Rather than buy it up here away from VWAP and hope it keeps on extending, sometimes that'll happen for sure. But if I can get it nice and low at that VWAP, I'll know very quickly if I'm right. Okay, yeah, we popped back into trend. I was right or I was wrong. Trend's not even continuing. I'm not wrong on price. I'm wrong on direction. So I like that about it. Of either you're wrong or right. You're probably not early. So nice bounce there pre-market, but hopefully that's a nice sign that buyers are trying to defend us here pre-market. We can find some more longs into the open. You look at last week, the sell-off on Friday, obviously it wasn't pretty, but you look at it zoomed out, even just on that week, it's like, could that be our next higher low into today's higher low? Yeah, it absolutely could. You know, it's still a very bullish market, even if Friday sold off, because you have last week, bank holiday Monday, right? So nothing traded on Monday. Tuesday was down, but Wednesday went higher, Thursday went higher, Friday went lower. But did we really move much lower and shift the markets? No, we held the previous day's low, and now we're right back in the middle. So we could easily get back to all-time highs today or tomorrow. Not saying we're going to, but you definitely could. So we want to keep that long bias until we really get told otherwise. Scott, what's up? James is drilling through 101 and 2.0. Nice. I'm up 110 from London. Let's go. Do you still mark out the initial balance after an hour? Yeah, for sure. I have the Edgefield indicators that does it for me, but yeah, it's definitely a key level. I have plenty of markups on that. On that note, let's take a look at last week real quick. I'll have a video coming out on it, but it doesn't look the sexiest, and it's certainly not. But is it bad? I can't say it's bad. Slight green. Let's call it break even. But it definitely could have been worse, because if you look on the Monday, let's open it up, or Tuesday, because we were off on Monday. This is the most important part to keep an eye on. Could have been worse. We limited the damage. I didn't make it all back. You don't think I would love to get back to 0 on the day just to... That felt good. Yeah, that felt great. But I'd much rather end the day 500 in the hole than 1,500. And then you come back the next day, same shit. Like, damn, down $3,000. But I made some of it back. Traded again and went in the hole again. Made it back again. Okay, cool. I'd much rather be down 700. Keep the long picture. Keep the big picture. It's only Tuesday. It's only Wednesday. It's only, right? We can make this back. If we just limit the size of the red days, we'll be fine. Then I trade well on Thursday, Friday. We made it back. But if I kept these days as minus 1,500 or even made them worse, right? Then this $700 day and $600 day would not make it back. Probably not even make half of it back. Would have been a red week. I'm feeling like shit on Monday morning, right? But it's really just because I didn't force trades after going red on Tuesday, Wednesday. Make some of it back, make all of it back. They're both great. But just limiting the size of them. Name of the game. Andrew, what's up? Spiritual Tradie, what's up? What's up? Does that make sense, though? I mean, I had so many coaching calls last week in the BSC on just, yeah, it'd be great to make it all back. Absolutely fantastic. When we have like a true break-even day, like, did I have any last like this? I mean, that's not break-even. I had one trade, but like $27. That'd be great to just be like, oh, see, I didn't end red. Yeah, but I'd much rather end the day minus 500 when I was down 1,500. We'll take that gift. Thank you very much. And then let's see what we can do this week. If I have 4 green days this week, I'll be happy as hell that I didn't blow it up on Tuesday, Wednesday when I easily could have. But what markup were we going to look at? I think it was Friday. Had to be Friday. Hopefully I saved it. That would suck if I didn't. No, that's the opening range low. It's a good markup, but no. Just talking about how not chasing the first break of it. First break open range low. Every amateur jumps in short. They get smoked. Second break of open range low. See you later. Simple as that. All right, on to the next. Was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. All right. I didn't get rid of the markup. Right here. Weekly. And we kind of just went over it here, but look at it on Tuesday, the big move down, right? Large sell-off. I think that was the 100-point move pre-market on ES, right? Yeah, following the bank holiday. But then we retraced it in the afternoon, right? So I had someone ask me, like, how do I know maybe like when to trade Asia session? And my answer is never. I don't really do it, no matter what price action looks like, unless there's something very strong catalyst. But regardless, you look at just the way it behaved in the last hour and a half of the day. Buyers showed some sort of strength. So now would I expect 2 hours later that it just sells off again at the start of the next day? Why would that happen? Why would we move down when we just try to move down and rally back up? And what's going to be the catalyst to move lower here overnight when there is none? So I'm thinking flat or a little bit drift higher because I'm bullish. And it moves really nowhere, but what happened during the New York session? A little bit higher, a little bit lower. But did that move lower really shift anything? Not really. From that Tuesday's low, we're still kind of trying to move higher because same thing. What happened in the last hour? We rallied and recovered it all. All right, so buyers stepped in again. Why would I think we come in now on Thursday and we just sell off? Why do I just think that? I don't, right? Because there's been buyers since Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, pretty much, they tried their best and they held in more so than not. And so when we start crawling higher on Thursday, a little bit, yeah, I'm going to keep that long bias because that makes sense. We're above VWAP, we're above the previous day's New York. If you guys can see it, this red candle, I believe, is the open. So if you're on the 1 minute, everyone's chasing shorts. But that whole story I just told you, why would I think we're going lower? I don't. So if we could continue going lower for another 15, 30 minutes, then maybe, okay, now I have some signs that this might want to move lower. But 15 minutes? No, not enough, right? Because you look at the markup here, it moved lower at the open. So you don't think everyone's jumping in short? But no, We're right at this overnight VWAP in previous days in New York where we find support and rip their face off higher. So it's just as simple as that, right? There's no like candle breakdown. It's just maybe experience too on the charts of just looking at it on the week of like, yeah, more so buyers keep trying to step in. It's bullish. And then, yeah, I think we could probably want to go higher than lower until I get told a lot more information that shorts might want to be in. So then you keep on looking for longs on Thursday and you make money. So same thing here pre-market of like when we're around this overnight, why would I expect a giant sell-off? When even same thing, Friday it bounced a little bit and we've been moving higher overnight. I'm not going to predict the shorts. If they come in, great. We'll react to them and sell it down here. But I have to stay long biased until I get bearish information. So there you go. There's that little spiel. That open range markup, this is a good one too, just in terms of not chasing that first one. Because I honestly think, unfortunately, that opening range break is a trap. It's a trap. James, good month last month. Trading is trading. Win more than you lose. That's all that matters. Yes, sir. That is true. Yeah, and that's the whole idea of like I don't know about last month. Let's see, August. August I did do good, so maybe not the best example, but let's see July. I traded pretty well as well. But the same note in July of keeping those max daily loss days consistent, they're both 1.2K because I don't want to lose more than that. That was at this time on those accounts that I'm trading because I want to be able to bounce back. That's my max daily loss. So then when you hit max daily loss, it feels like shit. But it only happened twice. So if I get a sprinkle on green everywhere else, you get a nice 9K month, right? But if I just kept on trading those days and made them 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, then who the hell knows how that month could have ended up. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of examples where it's just like, yo, yeah, if I just limit the size of the red, I know I could win more days than not. Just about how big are those red days? Does anyone long here pre-market or overnight? And Q, same thing right off that VWAP. You just look at it like we were saying from that last Tuesday drawing we just went over here. Since Tuesday's low, what's been happening? Higher lows and higher highs. So, yeah, why wouldn't I be a buyer above VWAPs? So, looking nice there. We can take a look at the daily real quick. We did that last week. Friday probably looks all right. Yeah, it looks all right. Nothing too crazy. So now you can see that VWAP is still there, marked from August, start of month. That's where we held twice last month after the 5-day pullback. Everyone's shitting their pants that sellers are in. Right off the VWAP. See you later. Treat this as like the overnight, right? It wants to probably move from here. Retested that. And now since it's September, it's re-anchored a new one, if you guys can see that here. So we'll see how that wants to do, but it's super early. If you don't tell me we can get one bullish bar and we're back at all-time highs, very bullish. But you got to be cautious because it is tough to trade this high up of, well, yeah, doesn't everybody see the longs here? So we're just going to smoke them like on Friday. Tony, what's up? Crypto, please. What about crypto? What do you want? Want a little Bitcoin? 112. 112, 112. How's that looking over here? Yeah, it's still below this range. Can it get back another 10K, 12K? Trying since the start of the month. But what else last week? I think that was really it. Limiting the down days. So it felt good on Thursday, Friday when I traded all right. Just one win and done. But like just knowing like, but this is only possible because of what you did on Tuesday, Wednesday by not making it worse. And I don't even hate the trade. That's a nice little scalp to make some of it back. And that one was an annoying day. Yeah, that was annoying because we had the right read. We were just early. Oh, yeah. What day is that? Wednesday? Thursday's handoff VWAP? I had a couple people ask me. I made a YouTube video on it, and Brian Shannon speaks about it in his VWAP book. I just have a VWAP anchored to the last time we touched New York when we broke through it. So that way you get some little level to try to trade off of rather than just floating out there in no man's land. That would be your way into the market. If you needed a key level to trade off of, there it is. But we got ASFX TV in about 25 minutes. Like I said, anyone that joined in late, if you go over here, ASFX TV, you can get your first month free. Just use code FIRST, absolutely free for 30 days. You get the streams, the recordings, the 2 courses. So honestly, I would say at least go through the courses, right, while they're free for you. Tune into the streams, of course. And then if you like it, great. If you don't, unfortunately, whatever. But it's free. Check it out. If you don't like it, see you later. But I don't really think that's going to happen. But yeah, we got a full stream week. Zach on tomorrow. James will be back this week. I think he's flying back today from a break last week. So should be a good week. Trader Sean, what's up? Gold's doing nice. And then there's a little I'll give you a little tease. I appreciate you guys hanging out in pre-market. Sometime this week, you might have seen it on Friday's stream. Well, first, I'll show you this one. Everyone knows Top One's always on sale. 45% off right now if you need an account with code Evan. But the other one is there's a new account type coming out called Ignite AF. And I have early access to it. So maybe I'll trade it today. Ignite AF. If I click on it, does it abbreviate? No, it doesn't. It did on the graphics. So buy yourself an Ignite AF account. That'll be coming out sometime, maybe even today. If not, definitely this week. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a lower. I have a little notes on it. A little notes. That it's a lower payout target, profit target, but a lower payout cap. So you should take a smaller payout, but you don't have to make as much. And again, you can copy trade them. They're going to be less expensive. So I definitely think it's not bad. Obviously, people don't love the smaller payout, but you don't have to like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to trade that account type. It's just for those that maybe want to get their first payout, want to get up. I don't know. You have to read the rules and figure it out and say, okay, which one do I want? If I don't like the smaller payout, you don't have to. You can just always still go with the instant fundeds. And with the 650, it becomes what, 350. So you save $300 on a regular instant funded. But if you only have to make $2,500 to take out, I'm gonna make it up $1,000, right? $1,000 payout. If that's good, rock it. There is going to be an ESS score. So if you guys remember that from the regular Sim Pros, those new ones they came out with here, right? The ESS score, equity stability score. There's a whole math behind it. Combine your most profitable trading day and your worst, remove the negative sign, divided by your account balance, and that number just can't be 20%, right? So it's kind of like a consistency rule, kind of not. But these new accounts are going to have that as well. Let's just bring it up. They're not going to yell at me. Let's rip it. So like I said, here, launch, they're going to be 50% off, $150. I think these could always change. But let's take a look at the raw data. Compliments of Decipher the Algo. Thank you, Christian. So we got 50% off. Max loss limit, $2,000. That's standard. ESS score, 20%. That's standard. Daily loss limit on a 50K. Daily loss limit of 1,000. That's normal, right? A lot of the accounts like you just saw on mine. Let's go to the instant funded. Daily loss limit, yeah, it's scratched out. It would be 1,200, but it's none. So maybe they'll do that as well. Let's see. End of day trailing drawdown, that's good. Profit target 5%. So you only got to make 2,500 on your 50K account. And then again, this could all change, but $1,000 payout cap per account, right? And then if you copy 3, it's still a 3K payout. If it took you a week or two to get a $2,500 target to those 3 accounts, it's still a 3K payout in 2 weeks, right? Maybe you can copy trade even more than 3. We will find out together, chat. But that will be out, could be today. I don't want to tease you guys, but it could be out today. If not, definitely tune in for it this week. Could be tomorrow. I'll tweet about it, obviously, if it does come out today. But the regular instant funders are still on sale. There's nothing wrong with them. Like I said, I think if you want to take a bigger payout than the 1,000, you'll probably still stick with these instant fundeds, but may not hurt to try the new ones if it is only going to be $150. And I assume no activation fee. So if it's $150 all in, I'm going to test that shit out. You kidding me? I could be wrong on all of this, but I don't think so. I got the basics down, right? like when I say I'm wrong, it may not be 150, maybe 170. The trailing max daily loss limit may be turned off. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But as always, whatever account you buy, when you just go to the checkout, because sometimes it is obviously always changing. I always say the 50Ks are the best, just in terms of payout target and reward. But just always put in my code and see what you get, because it's always going to be the best deal. Literally, like if they're running a 50% off, you'll get 55 by using mine. Right now, it's 40% off. You get 45. So definitely don't skip out on that. But today, honestly, maybe I will trade it. Maybe I'll trade it today, just to see what this is about. Because there's no intraday trailing drawdown, which is sick. And there's an ESS score. So with that in mind, I've done that in the past on the Sim Pros. You got to get, I think I was trying to stay in the ballpark of like, don't lose more than 600 or make 600, right? Because if it's like, let's see, let's do it together, because we're going to need to know this ESS math together. 600, let's say my worst day is also 600, so plus 600, that's 1,200. If I divide that by a $3,500 account balance, that's 34. So we need to get that to 20. So that's a little high. All right, what if I make 450? My worst day is 450, $900 divided by 3K. Because that's when I want to take the payout. 30. Shit. 400 plus 400. 800 divided by 3,000. 26. Damn, don't make more than 400 in a day? Maybe that's 400 on my winning days and then like 250 on my losing. So that's 650 divided by 3K. That's 21%. That's pretty damn close. All right, so you just don't want to lose too much, and you also don't want to make too much. Too much math on a Monday morning. Damn. The math made sense to me, but who knows? All right. But just a slow crawl up here off that overnight view up, like we said. Like the longs. And for everyone that joined in late, this is the VWAP to play. Right? So many times you'll see it like this. And again, this is London session, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't trade it. I don't know how it always reacts around the overnight at 2 in the morning. But this break below, even this break below, it was definitely below VWAP, but just a matter of like, can it sustain that? Because it's not actually a bearish trend, that is very short-lived and it comes right back up. So now in hindsight, when we see this and this, it's like, yeah, it held overnight VWAP and got back above. But like when you're in the moment, and let's say you only see this type of price action, like you see it till here, we don't know if it's going to hold, if it's going to get back above. It looks like it's underneath. So that's why it's like, if you could see the sustained move below, like if this thing really got away from it, for sure, let's sell it. Because I mean, you could even argue here, it's a little bit better here in terms of hopefully no one did sell this, of like, oh, we're below it. Okay, sell it. It's like, it's been 2 minutes. Been 2 minutes. If we've been underneath it for an hour, 30 minutes, sellers really defending it, maybe we could look to short it. But you give it, it went underneath at what, like 8:11, and by 9:27, it's back up. So 16 minutes, buyers took back control and pushing us higher. Yeah, that's a hold of the overnight VWAP. Don't just start chasing those shorts just because we're on a 1 minute, you know? Luigi, what's up, my man? How are you? But yeah, I don't have a time frame for you guys. Obviously, like I said, the top 1 account sometime this week. But in terms of ASX TV and the course, it's definitely going to be Q4. It's definitely going to be by end of year. The good thing, I guess I would say with this one, is it's going to be an update, not like full-on building one. So like this one took me a while to make. But since I'm just adding to it, and I'm not adding another 16 chapters to make this 32, I mean, damn, it shouldn't take as long. So hopefully I can get it even done by Halloween, you know, who knows? Hopefully by the end of the week, but no. But keep an eye out for that. Obviously, like the introduction, all this stuff, indicators and chart setup, go through that once, you're good. But then once you get into the meat of it, in the middle, keep on going over and over those again. because we definitely missed something first time through, and then just watch it again. All right. How's YM looking today? What is that blue VWAP? What are you tagged from? You got a markup over there on YM? All right. You learn something new every day, chat. Same thing. Pretty much sideways overnight, right? And ES, you could argue same thing, really. There's been nice lift in the first hour and a half. But since 10 p.m., just sideways. But more so up. So that's all we care about. How's the BSC doing? Oh, nice. Austin marking up the long as well. Yeah, I mean, it's like we see the same things. Yeah, he's got the dotted VWAP. Got an 8-point stop at lower day from, or not lower day. Lower day's back here, but higher low. Yeah, that's the one. See if you can find you guys one more good markup. Tuesday was nothing crazy. What is this open long? These are just markups. Oh yeah, Tuesday I traded right into the VWAP. Deserve to lose. I assume you guys saw most of this, right? But on the 1 minute, and we kind of talked about it on Friday. Oh, this is gonna be good, chat. Pay attention. How everything comes together, huh? So you look at Friday, not Friday, Thursday. That was a cheeky long on Friday, though. I'll tell you that much. All right. So on Tuesday, let's react to just the 1 minute on the right here. Who's in control? Clearly buyers. All right, let's blindly buy it because it's bullish. On the left side, that overnight view up, same one we're looking at right now that we just bounced off of. I'm longing it right at it where it rejects it and continues back down in trend. And I'm not surprised. That's often where moves want to continue in trend. Bearish trend, pullback, continue the bearish trend. So I longed it right into that VWAP. This bullish pop at the open wasn't actually bullish trend. It's just a bearish trend pullback. Does that make sense? So we take that information, we take it to now Thursday. Down at the open. Is it actually bearish or is it a pullback in a bullish trend? Pullback in a bullish trend. Let's actually go back higher. How shit works like that, huh? And now you can see it here, like I said earlier, of like, is this actually bearish? No, it's just creating the pullback, making that higher low. Now let's go continue trend. Right? So if I did what I did on Tuesday, I would have shorted it here. So what I did on Tuesday, but long into the VWAP against the trend, 2 zoomed in on the 1 minute. But I didn't. I said, okay, shit. Should have done that better on Tuesday. Let's keep that 15-minute open and keep it. Let's put some weight on it like we normally do. Because I'm always watching it. I just didn't weigh it enough of saying like, yeah, I know we're at the VWAP, but we'll get through it. Because I mean, look how bullish this 1 minute is. So like rather than predicting, let's just see. So nice to reverse it here on Thursday and trade it properly. But tough opens, it's sucking in everybody saying like, look how bearish it is. Sellers are in control, man. Sellers underneath, a new low a day, pullback, another new low a day. Like, let me sell this thing. It's like, yeah, until we're underneath the VWAP, I can't really love the shorts. And like I said, what's the worst thing that happens? If you look on the left side, let it drop lower. If we're like 23,380, that'd be down here. Just wait for a pullback and sell it there. When the shorts are now obvious and maybe actually in, but right at this VWAP, too soon to tell. You're predicting that we're going to break through it. If you short it there and it works out, that was a nice prediction. But it wasn't what the market was telling you it wanted to do. Right? So rather than, I hope this breaks higher above this VWAP. No. See if it rejects it. If it rejects it, okay, I'll sell it. If it breaks above it, I'll just buy it higher. If we can get above Indeed, I'll just long it up there. But now the longs are actually in. So I could like that long, maybe even better. Follow? Makes sense? Good markups last week. This one was how you could have longed it to that VWAP, right? This is where I ended up I think I buy it higher up here, and that's when I lose. But you could have bought the pullback or traded the continuation back lower later on. I think that was really it last week in terms of good lesson markups. I didn't do shit on Wednesday. Damn. Nobody look at that. Tuesday we went over. Which one's this? Oh, look at that. No break of the IB on the initial balance on that one. It flirted with it. It kissed it. And this is on NQ, so still didn't do it. And then Friday, I always like to say, do as I say, not as I do, because I longed it. But I made money. It looks like a loss, but I scalped that puppy. I scalped this thing at the bottom of the whole bearish move. No pullback in sight. Not even a little baby one. Nothing. It's like, Jesus, give me something. So we got a bullish bar. That's all it took for me to be like, here we go. Because we consolidated for 4 minutes. Stop loss at the low, because if this thing keeps going lower, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't even be long. And it gave me a pop into my profit. And another minute. So I was like, oh, okay. Trailed the stop aggressively. I got trailed after 2 minutes. But I made some money. Believe it or not. And then do I have the other one? I don't think I do. Let me go back and find it real quick. It's right here, since it's Friday morning. And then there's this one that Austin took. Freaking bastard. This is what I was kind of trying to play, right? We just went over. I longed it here to there. It moves one more leg lower. Then you long it, pretty much same idea of like seeing a bullish bar engulf all those higher lower lows. And that one's the deeper pullback that I want. But again, it's why it's so stupid to trade, in my opinion, because it's just very tough to time. It's even fortunate that I got those 2 minutes of lift. This thing could have just kept on drifting lower and then given the pullback. I don't want to say anything certain, but when you look at like my markup here, right? Markets like this, we're going to get a pullback. We're going to get something. We don't just melt lower like this with no significant-ish pullback. So that's what I was trying to go get. But it doesn't have to happen on my time, right? It's been absurd already. You could have definitely thought this bounces from here. All right, maybe now here. Maybe even this one. You know, it's going to bounce. No. You're a little bit right there, but still not even right because it moved lower. And then at 11:13, you're right. But how many times were you wrong trying to call the bottom before that? Does this win even matter? Because instead of down 1,000, we're still down 800. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's why I try not to get in the habit of it, because it's just a lot tougher. That honestly, rather than trying to buy it here, when it breaks the lower day view up there, I would have just been better off selling it for a little bit more, you know? But regardless, mixing a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, a lot more luck, and you could buy it like this. But it's very tough to time it. We all know a pullback's coming at some point. It's just a matter of timing it is ridiculously hard on these drifting days where it's just like there's a lot of sellers. This thing could just keep on going and going. Where on the slower days, it's like, yeah, I would definitely expect to pull back very soon. But not on them drifting days. This thing was just straight down. And then what happened? It ran out of gas because it just wasted all that movement straight down. It just chopped to finish the week. But I think maybe like 100. Was that my only trade? I guess it was. I made like 250 to the 3 accounts. Yeah, sounds about right. But all right. Any last call for questions? Questions, comments, concerns? What do we got? We got ASPEX TV in 5 minutes. Austin's going to kick us off over there. So like I said, anyone that's listening, free all month long. Not a 3-day free trial. Not a weekly trial. 30 days, all month. Join this week, next week, the week after. If you don't like it, bounce. It was free. We're going to call trades every day here. We have guests coming on every day. Randy should be on today. Zach will be on tomorrow. Tanner and Lawrence will be on Fridays. James is back on. Like, we just got 7 different perspectives, strategies, thoughts, experiences, everything. You're going to learn something. If it's not from me, it's Austin. And then tomorrow you learn something from me, and then James on whatever. There's always something that you could gravitate towards and trade like one of us more specifically of like, oh yeah, that really resonates with me. Like, that sounds like me. I'm going to start trading like that. Or I want to learn more about that. So there's something for everybody, which is why I like so many people on there. But definitely check that out. Top 1 sale. Like I said, I'll keep you guys in touch on when this does drop. You'll see it on my socials, but I would say just at least this week. But I feel like it could be today just because it's a Monday, but I could be wrong. So don't hold me to that. Like I said, but keep an eye out for that. I'll obviously mention it on stream and everything. I'm ready for the live. Do you use Bookmap like Austin? I don't use Bookmap, but when he's on there, I use it because he's there. I use him for Bookmap because I'm always trading with him. so I don't technically need it or want it. But I'll let him use it. I'll let him drive the boat, steer the ship for it. Streams all week, top one sale. Yeah, let me know if you guys need me this week. I'll be back live again probably Wednesday pre-market. See what we can find. Hopefully we can make some money today. Like I said, last reminder, it's looking good so far. Price action, right? Bullish, holding those VWAPs, beautiful. One other thing to look at, either Financial Juice, I have that open for like the breaking news, but just Forex Factory here. On the week, get CPI on Thursday, preliminary consumer sentiment Friday, whatever. PPI on Wednesday, nothing tomorrow. Literally nothing today, but CPI and PPI this week. So if today is dry and stupid and ugly and shit, don't be surprised, but also don't overdo it. Don't over risk. Don't over trade. If you can make a little bit of money early in the morning, great. Get out of here. The worst thing to do would be sticking around all day if it is choppy. Hopefully it's not. But we've seen it plenty of times where there's really nothing to move the market today. There's no real high impact news to react off of and send us higher or send us lower. So if it is slow, keep that in mind. Don't push yourself. Don't ruin everything on a Monday morning when there's lots of week left. All right, we've seen it plenty of times on a no news Monday, and we're just like, what the hell is this no news Monday? So if you lose an account on that day, you deserve it. Because what the hell is this? But then you come in the next day, there's the move. So hopefully we find move today. Hopefully it's all irrelevant. But whether there's move or not, don't stick around all day. It's Monday, make a little bit, stack a little bit more on Tuesday, lose a little bit on Wednesday, make even more on Thursday. Piece together good weeks. You can't make your whole week on Monday morning, right? I promise you. Because even if you make $3,000 more than you ever have this morning, still got to trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So there's a chance you give a lot of that back. If you can't keep your head on straight, if that trade today was luck or oversized or whatever, right? Can you do it consistently? Can you sustain any big profit you make today? Well, if you undeservingly, whatever that word means, right? I don't know how you undeservingly made the money. You could easily give it back. So what good is it to make $3,000 slinging it today and then we just give back $2,800 throughout the rest of the week? All right. I appreciate you guys. Let's have a great week. Austin's going to kick us off over here on AceFX TV. It might even be kicking off soon. 2 minutes. So like I said, just go to the top. Code first, FIRST. The codes and links are everywhere. If I actually use the link in my bio or on anywhere, it's going to put the code in for you. So it makes it super simple, makes it easy. Just go to my link tree anywhere. And let's have a great Monday, everybody. Appreciate you all. See you guys on AceFX TV.